7th grade science teacher at DeLand Middle School. And I have a co-teacher in 2 of my classes in 2nd and 4th period, and that is Ms. Scott right here.
Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. Scott. I am a co-teacher with Ms. Hebert in 2nd and 4th period, so if your child has science class 2nd or 4th, they're going to see both of us in the room with them. As you can see right here on the screen, we have the syllabus pulled up. So we're just going to run through the syllabus, let you know what your child needs for class, their expectations, and grading. So most of the students already know they're going to need a 3-pronged notebook or folder, something to keep all their science work in because we do notebook checks in class. And of course, they're going to need pencils and a highlighter, and glue and color pencils will be helpful as well. We have some of those in class in case they don't have those items with them. Our classroom rules and expectations. Of course, we want everyone to be respectful, be polite, and use kind words with each other. Be responsible, so that means coming to class on time, being prepared, having their notebook, having pencils. We want everyone to be safe, so using classroom materials appropriately, especially when we do labs. That means following emergency procedures and keeping their hands and feet to themselves. We want them to follow all the school rules in the classroom, so all the school rules that are at DeLand Middle should be followed in the classroom as well. And of course, cell phones should only be used when it's BYOT or when instructed by us to do some sort of research in class. Cell phones are a huge issue, so please talk to your son or daughter. Ask them they need to keep the cell phone in their backpack put away. We shouldn't even be able to see it unless we ask them to take it out. And there are a few other additional rules for our live students, which Ms. Hebert is going to discuss.
So for our Volusia Live students, it's expected that their microphone is muted unless it's been instructed by either me or Ms. Scott, or if we're having like a class discussion or anything like that, just so we don't hear any background noise. And it's also expected that their cameras stay on during the entire class period. That has been a challenging thing to get the students to keep their cameras on all class. So if you could ask your son or daughter, remind them to keep their camera on, because it's important for their attendance to make sure that they're there and to keep it on all class. So we'll use Microsoft Teams to meet, and we have been this whole time, and the students can take advantage of the chat to ask questions and answer some questions. And that should always stay on topic. It should have polite and respectful language and stay positive. But that's an easy way for the Volusia Live students to be involved in the class discussions. And students should also have a quiet space that is conducive to learning where they are doing their Volusia Live classes, just so it's not, it shows like a regular classroom environment. So as we go through the 7th grade curriculum, the students learn physics, which we're kind of in right now. We just talked about, we're talking about heat and temperature, and then we're moving on to light in the electromagnetic spectrum. And then we'll move on to earth science. We'll touch on biology and some other science disciplines. So we'll discover connections among all these fields while furthering our understanding of scientific methods through inquiry and investigation. So at the start of class, we always have a science starter on the screen or on the board, and students have a science starter sheet to do those. So it's expected that they come in and do that immediately. I usually have the Volusia Live students type their answer in the chat. And then it's expected that they have their class notebook or their folder where they keep all of their materials. And we grade those every couple weeks, and we'll have a grade for that in each quarter. We have a rubric for that if you would like to look at it. We use quizzes occasionally to measure the students' preparedness for the upcoming exams, the DIAs. We have about 3 to 4 summatives each quarter, and we usually have 3 to 4 formative assignments for each of those summatives. So we do a lot of different types of work. We have projects, labs, and other more independent work. Many students will be designing their own experience and carrying them out. If your student is in the advanced classes, they will be doing the science fair this year and designing their own experiment and conducting that through the year. Ms. Scott already talked about BYOT, so sometimes we do let the students use their cell phones, or if we have laptops, we use those to enhance the learning experience. But it's not a requirement that a student has their own device to use if they're in brick and mortar. So all of our assignments are out of 100 points. The formatives are worth 40% of your child's grade, and the summative assignments are worth 60% of the grade. If the student hands in their work late, we deduct 10 points each day, unless it's stated otherwise. If the student is absent, they have the same number of days that they were absent to make up the work. So if they were if they were out for 2 days, they have 2 extra days to make up the work. Everything is posted on Canvas, so even for brick and mortar students, they have access to Canvas. So if they're absent, they could go in and look at what they missed that day. And Volusia Live students, they mostly are doing their work on Canvas. And I give them explicit directions on how to get to Canvas and where the assignment is and everything like that. And it's important to note that the grade in Canvas does not reflect the student's actual grades, so you should refer to gradebook for your students' up-to-date grades. The mask policy in our classes, the students know it. They can't walk into class without a mask on. They need to have it over their nose, which some students have trouble with it falling down their face a little bit, but the mask needs to stay on and up and over their nose. Both me and Ms. Scott are available the best through email. I have my cell phone there, or my phone number there at school, and that's for just calls, no texts. And some of you have already emailed me, and you can also message us through Canvas as well to get in touch. I also use Blooms to post updates, so I have the code there for you guys to join in if you would like to see updates through Blooms. Scott, do you have anything else to add?
No, we look forward to a good year with your child, and we're excited to teach them science this year.
Look forward to meeting you all.